What's the best movie to explain racism? For me, it's The Notebook. The Notebook takes place in 1940s America. They were surrounded by sundown towns, white-only restaurants. They lived during Jim Crow. They were intimately familiar with the suffering of black people. And what did they do about it? Absolutely nothing.
Z is spot on. Like, it's a funny take, but it's also accurate as hell, because racism is not just Trump or Farage or Le Pen screaming about their hatred of minorities, it's the active decision to do nothing about the systems that are already in place to make life harder for ethnic minority people. Especially as we're now at a point in society where being an out-and-out racist is quite widely frowned upon, so the modern racist has to find other ways of achieving the same goal. Because you've heard the phrase, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was to convince the world he didn't exist. Well, the same goes for racism, because if you can convince enough people that institutional racism doesn't exist and deny the impacts that it has on real people, then nothing will be done to fix it. Because all the evidence that racism affects every area of our lives is already well established. Whether it's the official Independent Office for Police Conduct saying that black people are unfairly targeted, or the fact that the basic ability to make money and have a better quality of life passes through a filter of racism because having an ethnic minority sounding name makes it 80% harder to get a callback when you're applying for work. And when you do make that money and you want to find somewhere to live, having a black name makes it 36% less likely that you'll receive a positive response from potential landlords. So institutional racism is the status quo. So when you're having these debates about whether this politician or that politician is racist because of something they've said or done, here's a better question. Ask them what they've done to combat institutional racism. For example, have they pushed for anonymous job applications? Have they tried to make the police more woke to the inherent biases in their system, or less? So if you're looking at a politician or a journalist that's constantly being called racist, and you're not sure whether it's fair to call them that, ask yourself, what have they actually done to address systemic racism? Or do they seem to be just fine with things as they are? Because it's like putting apolitical or moderate on your dating profile. Because if you can look at the world around you, see all the inequality, and you're not passionate about changing things, you're right wing.